Hi guys, Danielle from Danielle's Homemade Product, or Danny's Homemade Product, however you want to call it. I am back again doing the intro for my DIY punishment wheel. I got my robe on. It's late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I just finished making it, so I wanted to go ahead and get this filmed. I promise I have clothes on underneath it. It's just a little chilly out here at 1 o'clock in the morning. But I'm the only one up, so I was trying to be really quiet inside because Sky was laying on the floor next to me where I was working, sleeping, and Nana was sleeping in her room, and I didn't want to wake anybody up. So I was trying to be super quiet in there. So it wasn't making it easy to film. Sorry, trying to move you guys a little closer, but shampoo bars, empty box for my cigarettes, which I need to throw away. But anyway, today has been kind of a rough day. Sky's on spring break, so she is here 24/7, and I love my daughter to death, but she is in that phase right now where if she gets in trouble for something, it's my fault. I haven't figured out how that works yet, but that seems to be the theme of the day anyway. So, or whatever punishment I give her is not fair, and I'm just a monster, and I'm a meanie, and all kinds of fun stuff. So I had seen a DIY prize wheel, actually is where I got the idea from, on YouTube, on Pinterest, and whatnot. So I pulled it up, and I did run along run. It's late, I'm tired, words are hard. That's just all I can say. I've got a cup of coffee here because I'm trying to stay awake long enough to finish this, because right now I am tired. Like I said, it's been a rough day with her and a long day, just in general. But I wanted to get this filmed so I can get it all up, all uploaded and edited for you guys. But I saw it originally as a prize wheel, meant for like YouTubers who are doing some kind of drawing, or just spin the wheel to win a prize, whatever, similar to that. But I liked the idea of it as a means of taking responsibility off of me for the punishment. And I know that sounds really bad, but again, my daughter's in a phase where it doesn't matter if she's been warned 20 times in the last 5 minutes. The minute she gets a punishment and I enforce it, it's mommy's horrible. Mommy's the bad guy. I'm a monster. It's all my fault. The whole world is just, getting ready to implode, explode, however you want to call it. But it's always my fault. It's never hers. She's struggling with accepting responsibility and all of that fun jazz that they get right before the whole fun preteen and puberty issues. So I wanted something that would still hold her accountable, but the punishment itself is not on me. It's on her. So this way, she may get 3 warnings depending on what the behavior is. She may not get any warnings at all and get told to spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on is her punishment. And it's not mom just being unfair and giving her a horrible punishment for not doing anything wrong, which is what it always seems like right now. So that's why I got where I got the idea of it. I did run along, guys, my brain is going like 360, and my mouth can't go that fast. No, don't get me wrong. I am a fast talker naturally. I have to force myself to slow down in order to not confuse people, because when I start talking at my normal speed, yeah, it can be hard to for people to understand me. I do try to enunciate as much as I can, but there's still only so much you can do when you're talking at 800 words per second, or what it sounds like to other people. To me, that is my normal speed, but after years of customer service, I have learned how to slow my speech down. Now, if I do get super excited about something, I have no ability to slow it down, so I'm so sorry if I get excited at any point in time. But I do work and to slow my speech down, because I do talk rather quickly. But anyway, I did run into some snags. It's not perfect, in my opinion. There are some things that need to be improved on. There's a lot that needs to be improved on. No, let's not kid. But at the same time, the concept is there, and I'm really liking that concept. It's still usable, but there's some things I do not definitely need to correct and find a different solution for it. And you'll probably be able to point them right out, trust me on this. But at the same time, I really like the idea of this, and I think it's going to be a nice, once I can get all of those kinks worked out, I think it'll be a nice solution. And so I thought I would go ahead and share this with you. And then as I do improvements or figure out different ways to handle the issues that I came across, I will then redo the video and add it on or update it, or however that may work, create a new one with listed as an update. But as of right now, I'm pretty satisfied with it, but again, there's always room for improvement. And like I said, there are some things that I ran into snags on. So it's just a matter of going through and rethinking it, really doing some more research. Mind you, I've thought this whole thing up and made it in one day. I shouldn't say I thought it up. I've been thinking this up for the last week, and what I had originally planned to do, some of the things that I had originally considered as part of it, I'm trying to think of, like, I used a crap ton of washers as spacers, just because the carriage bolts that I found in the diameter that I needed were super longer than I wanted them to be. And the problem I ran into with that too was they were not threaded the full length of the carriage bolt. So what I had originally planned on doing was adding extra nuts, so that I didn't have to use as many washers for it. But because it wasn't threaded completely, I ended up having to use more washers. Now, that's not to say that I can't figure out a way around that later on, or get a small piece of wood and drill a hole through it and eliminate the need for all the washers. But again, I was making do with what I found just at Walmart, besides what I already had. Like the two of the main pieces that I used, one was a shadow box. I already had it at the house. Honestly, I had never used it. It had probably about an inch of dust all over it from just being up on a shelf in the corner of the room. So I utilized that because I already had it and didn't have to purchase it. And then the wheel part itself, the circular wheel portion, is something I also had because a couple years back, I think it was 2 Christmases ago, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that, I think, or it could have even been the Christmas before that, to be honest with you. It's been a while. But I had purchased a clock kit, and so it's a circular piece of wood with the hole already drilled in the center, and you decorate the wooden piece. It's white on one side and a plain wood finish on the other. You decorate it how you want to, add your numbers, and then it's got the clock piece that goes in the center of that hole. So I used that round piece and the hole that was already drilled in the center of that round piece as my basis for everything. So if it's something, I honestly was just trying to avoid trying to dig around for the right size drill bit. I won't lie. I have a drill here, I have drill bits here, but a lot of them have gotten mixed up in with other things, and they're no longer staying in the place that they're supposed to be in, as far as, like the 1/4 inch or the 3/4 inch. So I'm always guessing as to which one I'm using, and when I'm trying to do something precise, guessing is not an option. And I wasn't going to go out and buy a new set of drill bits. That just seemed kind of silly and a lot more expensive than what I was trying to go for. So I made do with the size that the clock was already pre-drilled for and went with that. So unfortunately, that limited me on what I was able to find. They only had, and again, I went to Walmart and got all my components that I purchased, like, the carriage bolt I got from Walmart, the hex nuts, the washers, all of it I got from Walmart for very cheap, honestly. I think the package of 3 hex, 3 mouth, brain, not same speed. The carriage bolt and hex nuts were a package of 3, and I think they were only 97 cents. I got 2 bags of washers, 25 washers each for 97 cents. And then I got a bag of locking washers that I ended up not using, also for 97 cents. So, I mean, you're talking, I was very inexpensively doing this. So, honestly, because I still have 2 carriage bolts left, if I, you know, had other picture frames or any other way to mount it, I could realistically still make 2 more for what I've already purchased. You know, I purchased the paint markers, which I wasn't completely satisfied with that whole issue, and I did explain it in the part where I showed that, so I won't make you listen to it twice. But really, it's just there are places that I can improve on, and I'm going to look for different solutions and see what else I could come up with. Like I said, I made do with what I could find at Walmart. I had my Graham with me and Sky. My Graham uses a walker or a wheelchair. So going 3 or 4 different places looking for 1 or 2 little things just wasn't feasible today. Number one, my Graham can't handle it. She doesn't have the stamina for doing that. Even though at Walmart she uses the scooter, we went to the store for a total of maybe 15 things, if that, including, you know, prescriptions that we had to pick up, and we were gone for 3 hours. Just because it does take us longer, you know, it takes her longer to walk to the car, and she, you know, she uses one of the little scooters in Walmart, but she still has to walk from the car to Walmart, you know, to inside to get that scooter, and then from where she drops off the scooter to the car again. So, I mean, it is a lot of walking, and not all stores have those for, you know, the disabled or the elderly who can't handle long walking trips. So running to multiple places just wasn't an option. And like I said, with the rough day that I was having with Sky, I really wanted this made today because my intention was to have her spin that wheel for her first punishment tonight because she's been running her mouth all day. But anyway, so I'm going to stop blabbing now and to let you get on with the video, and I hope you enjoy. If you've got any ideas for improvements, please leave them in the comments below. I think I also left some other things throughout the video on different things to comment. So, but again, if you're new to the video, don't forget to subscribe for my craziness, my DIYs, whether they're failures or winners. I'll take you along for the ride. So again, have fun. Let me know what you think. Share, subscribe, all that fun jazz. And I will see you soon. Danielle back, Danielle's Homemade Products. I'm getting ready to make a DIY punishment wheel. And of course, Miss Sky can't be quiet. But right here, I've got a shadow box. I've got to get the glass out of it. Then I've got my round circle of wood, which I actually got from a clock kit that I had already, so I didn't have to buy that. That blackboard is the back of the shadow box. I've got some popsicle sticks, a little clothespins, and I've got some other gizmos and gadgets, and as we get to using them, I'll let you know what they are. First thing I've got to do, though, is get the glass out of this baby. And
Can I help?
No, you cannot. And unfortunately, because it doesn't pop out, I have to break it. So and your point is what? No, I've already answered this question. And we've been having a rough day, hence the punishment wheel actually being started today.
You said you didn't want to.
I did it inside the garbage bag to make it as mess-free as I can. Okay. That worked better than I thought it would. Okay, so I've got all the glass out. It did pop some of the inside pieces out, which I really don't care. I was trying to figure out how to get them out myself, but couldn't find a hammer to save my life because it's probably buried in the closet.
I know
And so, I don't need it now. And so we are going to set this aside now. I'm going to leave it black. There are some little tacks in here from the pieces that popped out. I'm not worried about those. They won't affect anything. And I will tap them down later.
What I made for me and my sister?
In a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside and get going on the next thing, and I'll be back in just a bit. Next thing I need to do is make something to stack up to put the little... Oh, words are so hard today. What I'm doing is I'm using a clothespin to hold a piece of plastic from a drink bottle to use as the pointer or the thing, whatever you want to call it, the spinner, whatever you want to call it. So in order to get that to sit up high enough that it actually will work, I've got to create a little block. Now, Walmart didn't have little blocks of wood, and I wasn't going 800 different places for stuff. So I bought some craft sticks, and I'm going to, I know I have 24 washers total, and the washers were about the same thickness as the popsicle stick was. So I'm going to cut these in half, because I obviously don't need it to be this wide. And then I'm going to glue them together to form one taller block to make the box that I need. So I figured I would go ahead and record, and if anything, I'll fast forward through some of this so that it's not quite as boring, or I'll edit some of it out. So we'll see how that goes. But I figured I'd tell you what the next step was that I was doing, then we could go from there.
Why do you need more rubber bands?
Because I needed something to hold the sticks together when they're drying.
Oh.
She had to follow me outside, swearing up and down she's going to be quiet. That lasted 2 minutes. And I'm not as really concerned about these being exactly even, which is surprising coming from me, because I do have OCD that way. I'm just trying to cut them in half as best I can. I mean, considering I'm cutting them with a pair of stinking scissors, and these are brand new scissors I just bought specifically for this, so I wouldn't tear up any of the ones in the house. I'm just trying to get them cut. And I'm going to make this, I have 16 popsicle sticks here. I'm not as concerned about getting them perfectly even. I'm okay with it looking semi-rustic, so I'm not worried about that. I mean, come on, it's, you know, homemade. I want it to look like it's homemade. Ugh. But I started to say, before I got really interrupted by the kid who wants to keep coming in and out of the house, making noise as much as she can, I have 16 popsicle sticks here. Like I said, I have 24 washers. I knew I was going to cut the popsicle sticks in half. So my plan is to glue at least 30 layers together and see how tall that is. If I think that's going to be tall enough, then I will stop there. But I may go ahead and just do the 32 to have a little bit of extra space. So
I was just about to say, if you cut 16 in half, popsicle sticks, and 32.
Very good. You're right.
Because I know times. Well, not that good, but I know times.
And I thought about it after we got back from Walmart, which is where I got the majority of the parts that I needed.
Pretty much all of them.
And I didn't get any glue. And my big bottle of glue that I have at home, I thought I had brought with me back to Graham's when I ran home the other day. And apparently I did not. So I ran across a Family Dollar and got some school glue.
You went home?
And the scissors, and I think that was it, actually.
Hi, guys.
Stop.
Okay, that's right.
And the nice thing about school glue, at least if it dries, I can, because I know I'm going to get it on my hands, I can clean that up later. Maybe freak Sky out a little bit.
What?
Wasn't talking to you.
You said Sky.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
None, yeah.
Tell me.
I don't have to.
Tell me.
See, the good thing about being the parent is that
Tell me.
I am not required to do what you tell me to.
You
So.
said my name, so I'm technically in this conversation. So tell me.
No, I said something about you, not to you, not the same
You said
thing.
to wear Sky out. That's all I heard. So what's gonna wear me out?
I didn't say anything about wearing you out.
You did.
No, I did not.
Tire me out or something.
No,
like that.
I didn't.
Do Do you not see my skate, guys? Okay, yeah, you see it. Like, I only have one skate on. It helps me. See?
Because she's weird.
Yeah.
Hasn't mastered 2 skates, apparently only 1.
I can do it with the floor and one line. That's the only one I can do with those skates. But you gave my other pair away. Superman.
I got the shakes a little bit today. It's driving me crazy. Today has been a very attitudinal day. My hands are bothering me today, so I'm shaking like mad crazy.
Your hands are ugly. You've been slimed. By slime.
Come here, let me touch you.
I don't want to be slimed. Who would want to be slimed? For some reason, guys, my mom says I can't help with anything. Why is that?
Because you're already getting on my last nerve today.
Hey!
You asked.
That's fair.
Welcome to the real world. Good thing I wasn't trying to make these nice and neat. Because I was failing miserably. Okay, guys, I think you get the point. I'll be back when I've got more, the next step, or if I've got this done. See you soon. I'm back. I took my little wheel, and with the light on, my camera is making it hard to see. Alright, let's try that. Still not the easiest to see. But anyway, I took a pencil and I divided it up into 12 sections. Some of them are a little bit bigger than others, but I'm okay with that. So now I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to mark these lines out in a paint marker, which I have over here. I have silver, black, red, and white. I'm going to do red for the lines, the dividers. The black is going to go for the wording. The white one I got just in case I needed to touch up any of the white on the actual board itself. One side is white and the other side is just wood. And then the silver one, there's going to be 2 spots that are going to be free spaces. So if they get lucky enough to hit on them, when they spin the wheel, then they'll not get any punishment. And I'm going to try to find the 2 smallest spots for that to make it even harder because I'm just like that. So I'm going to continue on working on my lines and I'll be back. And my sticks are drying. I grabbed 2 Skies rubber bands. Shh, don't tell nobody. And I'm having them hold them in place while the glue dries. So we're working on that too. That's going to take a little bit. So I'll be back with the next. I've got my wheel now with the red paint on it. I've had to repaint some of the white stuff because, yeah, I was messy with the red. So I've got that drying. Next thing I'm going to do is attach this clip. Okay, so I dug out a hammer because I couldn't find one to save my life earlier. But I'm going to, I've got these little clothespins is what I'm going to use for the spinner. I don't know what I did. Okay, sorry about that. So I got this little clothespin, and then I got this little piece of plastic. I know it's probably hard to see. Here, maybe that'll help. From a 20-ounce Pepsi bottle that I'm going to use as a little pointer, so to speak, I guess. So first I've got to attach this to my brick. This is going to be interesting. My nail got stuck. Okay, I guess that'll be fine. So I got that attached with the nail, so now it won't come off. But it can still squeeze to hold my little pointer plastic piece thing. So I'm going to wait for this to dry. I need to put, I guess you can't see what I'm talking about. I need to wait for this to dry so that I can put the wording on it for what the punishments are. And then put the nails in it to give the, again, words are hard today, to give the pointer something to help slow it down so that it'll choose something. So I'll be back once this is dry and I can work more on it. I'm back. So I used the time while I was waiting for the paint to dry to decide what my punishments were going to be. I did create 2 free spaces, I guess is the best way to describe it. Basically, they, like a get out of jail free card, or, like no punishment space. So those 2 spaces are written in silver, so it might be hard to see. There's the first one, and then the second one is right there. There you go. And then, so the other ones I had are like clean windows, donate 5 toys, 15-minute timeout, no electronics for a day, an extra chore, write an apology letter, no electronics for an hour, 30 minutes of yard work, washing walls, no TV for a day. So, I mean, really you can choose whichever ones your kids are going to hate the most, because those are the ones that, they're not going to want to spin the wheel for those ones. Now, the ones, and I saw this actually on YouTube, a couple of versions of it. Their versions were bigger, which I would have loved to do that, but at this point, I don't have the space for it, and I have a kid that does throw temper tantrums at times, and I could see her getting upset with whatever spin she got and throwing something at it in an attempt to break it. So for now, I'm going to go with this method and see how it works. And if it does pay off, I may do, a bigger version. We'll see how that goes. But the next thing I'm going to do, oops, sorry, I knocked the tripod. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give this a few more minutes to dry. It is a paint marker, so they actually did dry fairly quickly. Because I was afraid I was going to wear the paint on my hands. But the next thing I'm going to do, sorry, bumped that again, is to take these nails, these itty bitty little finishing nails, and they're called 18 gauge, 3/4 inch long stainless steel nails. Nothing fancy. Here is the package, if it will. Sorry, it's half open, so I guess I should fix that before I spill them out. And again, I just got these from Walmart. I think they were like 97 cents for this package. So I'm going to take a nail, and I'm going to put a nail on each marking, each border, I guess is the best I can think to describe it, and then probably one in the center of each one. I do have to take this outside and do it. I'm the only one up right now in the house. So I'm going to take it out to the breezeway and probably have a cigarette while I'm doing it, because this is just taking longer than I like. It didn't, I'm not exactly thrilled with my paint job. There's a lot of imperfections, and I, as I've explained before, I do have a bit of OCD, but I didn't have any paint here, and I wasn't driving 20 minutes to the store to get paint at this point because, yeah, it just wasn't happening. So right now I'm going to go back and try to touch up this line, and you can see the patches of white that I used to touch up where some of the red bled. But the way that I look at it too is, the nice thing about this and the way that I'm going to assemble it is I can always take this apart, repaint it, give it a full base coat, and then redo the different punishments as Sky gets older, to something that's more likely to prevent bad behaviors. So that's the thing, is I can adjust this and change it and repaint it later on. So at some point in time, probably within the next couple of years, that might be something that I'll do anyway. So I'm not going to stress over the imperfections that are on here now, because it's still going to serve the purpose whether it's perfect or not. So that's what I'm going to go add the nails in, and I may just leave the imperfections alone because frankly they were irking me, I won't lie. But I'm going to go add the nails in, and I will be back to show you. It's loud, and y'all don't want to see me or hear me banging nails into this board. So I'll be back once I've got this added on. I've got all my nails in. This was a pain in the ass, I won't lie, but that's mainly because my hands are killing me today. They're not extremely swollen, but they're just really sore. The weather isn't helping. So I've got these attached now. And I also took this outside. This is the back of, let me tip you up a little so you can see a little bit better. Okay. This is the back of the shadow box. So I took my little pointer guy and I nailed it through the back. I could only get one all the way through, and this one I had actually started from the other side so that I knew where to put the nails. But I've got the others two just flat up against the back, enough that it's holding it in place. So now I'm just going to get this assembled, and I will come back and show you the finished thing. I'm back, and it is done. I did end up removing some of the extra layers of the popsicle sticks just to kind of make it a little bit more flush. It's not spinning quite like I will want it to, but at the same time, for a first try, I can't really complain. I think a lot of it has to do with the number of washers I have on the back of it. It's not quite as level as I would like, so it's a work in progress. So I will continue to work on it and see how I can improve it. But for first time, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think part of the problem is that I can't get the washer in the back tight enough and still have it spin at the same time. I need to put a washer up front, but my carriage bolts are square there, so it's not sitting very nicely when I have a washer in the front of it. So it's just a matter of probably finding a different carriage bolt to use. But overall, I think it looks pretty cool. And once I can get those little issues worked out, it'll probably be better. I wonder too if I take more of the popsicle sticks off and take some of the washers off of the back, if that'll help too. So I'll play around with it and work on it and try to improve it and find ways of improving it, because obviously this is not the most attractive thing in the world. So that's something that I'm gonna work to improve as well. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. You can see Sky sleeping over here next to me because she didn't want to go to bed by herself tonight. She's having one of those nights. She's over here, her toys at her head. I have my robe on because I was outside and it's a little chilly, but I am dressed. I promise you that. But you can see her sleeping, and she's so cute when she's sleeping. It's when her mouth moves that she's not quite as cute. But anyway, I've got a mess to clean up here in the living room now, so I'm going to get that done before I head to bed. But overall, I'm happy with it. And like I said, as I work on ways to improve it, I will share them with you guys. So again, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and comment below on what one of your punishments would be on your punishment wheel. if you made one for your family. See you soon.